And this comes in the form of things like EMOM or Tabata. EMOM stands for every minute on the minute, and Tabata is just like another form of basically alternating between some amount of time at a high intensity. So you're like talking like max heart rate, going as hard as you can for maybe a minute or so, and then you're like doing another minute or so off, right? Depending on whether you're doing every minute on the minute or Tabata. So for example, with every minute on the minute, you're doing 40 seconds really hard and then a 20-second rest, and then 40 seconds really hard, 20 seconds rest, and so on for about a 5-minute block. And then you take like a 1-minute rest, and then you go on to do another block. So that's generally how those work. And then Tabata is more of like, 1 minute on, like maybe 30 seconds to a minute off, or some other type of up and down kind of a variation. There's a lot of different variations you can try with regard to high intensity interval training. One of the things to keep in mind with this is that these should not be very long. So you want to do these for maybe 20 minutes max. They should not really go beyond 20 minutes. And the whole thing with this is because you're doing this really high heart rate, dropping back down, going back up, dropping back down, and you're doing that for this window of time, whether it's, let's say, it's up to 20 minutes. The beauty of these is that that's all you need to do for your cardio for the day if you do these HIIT approaches, and you do them like every other day, every 2 days or so. And the reason is because you are going to keep burning fat for up to 48 hours after that workout. So they're very effective. They're very efficient with your time. So that's a great component, a great type of a cardio to weave into your efforts. Along with things like your weightlifting and any other types of kind of exercise that you're doing on a regular basis. They're really going to help with boosting your results. So the third component is active recovery. That's kind of what I call it. Different people might have this term defined a little bit differently, but what I mean when I say this is rather than taking like a total rest day, you should have one day where you're not doing much else but stretching. But so my schedule, for example, I work out 6 days a week. So usually on Wednesday is my active recovery day. And I either do it on Wednesday or Thursday, depending on how I'm feeling. What that means is I will do some form of cardio or endurance training instead of like my traditional like lifting workout in the morning, and then like my lunchtime cardio workout is like what my normal schedule would look like. So the endurance training is something like you're doing like a lot lower weight, but you're doing a lot more reps, and the idea is to really build muscular endurance, and kind of get some of that lactic acid out of your muscles that builds up from your other more intense lifting workouts. So it's a great way to help with things like soreness and building up endurance in your muscles. So that's one approach you can use for active recovery. Another one is just to do, a longer steady state cardio workout at maybe a little bit of a lower heart rate range. So, 60% max heart rate at the max. This could be something like doing like maybe a 4-mile walk that day, or some other type of lower impact cardio. Just something to kind of move your body and help get some of that soreness out of your muscles from your other workouts that you're doing during the week. So anyway, that's kind of the idea with the active recovery workouts. Like I said, if you're doing like the endurance training type of approach for those, it's really to help kind of get some endurance in your muscles, help you do things for, maybe a longer period of time than what you might be doing if you're focused on like heavy lifting, for example, where you're not doing very many reps because you're focused on building muscle and lifting heavier. And then last but not least is stretching. So it is really important, and there's different ways you can build this into. You could have like a 10-minute stretching exercise routine or workout that you do in the evening every day, or you could have a dedicated day every week where you're not doing any other kind of, more intense activity or workout, just the day that you're doing your stretching. So like for me, for example, that's like Sundays, because my workouts are Monday through Saturday. And then Sunday I'll do like my stretching in the morning. I am trying to get better about doing these in the evening. So that's another, like I said, it's another option. And doing them in the evening is there's other benefits to that as well. It can help with managing stress, like if you're doing like some type of a yoga workout or another type of stretching workout, and it's going to improve your overall flexibility, mobility, and help you unwind a little bit before bedtime. So those are the essential components of a comprehensive exercise routine. There's countless ways that you can structure this in a way that fits your schedule. So for example, you could do your strength training first thing in the morning like I do, and it doesn't have to be very long. You know, if you're just starting off and you don't have a lot of time, or you're trying to get used to, doing that earlier in the morning, you can, there's workouts you can find that are like 25, 30 minutes. So that's one option. And then you could do your cardio later in the day like I do, right? Like, so you could either do it at lunchtime, after work, whatever. Just adding that in the evening. Another way is you could have like 3 strength training days and 2 cardio days, and then an active recovery day and a stretch day. So you could be doing something every day, but just alternating your cardio with your strength training, with your stretching, and just making it work with your schedule. Again, it could be 30 minutes a day. That's kind of a good, target, I would say, if you're getting started off, especially. Because it doesn't have to be hours to start. You can build up to it. And I say build up to it because I would be surprised, like if you really get going and you really establish a routine for yourself and you're consistent, like let's say for like 6 weeks to 2 months, you're going to get over this hump where you're going to start to look forward to it. And you're going to start to like want to work out more. You're going to look forward to your workouts because of the way you feel after you do your workouts. So you might find that over time you want to add more and you want to do things differently and change it up. And that's the beauty of it. You can always do that later. So that's what I wanted to cover today, just to kind of lay the foundation about exercise. And in future episodes, we'll go into a little bit more about different ways you can structure your workouts, like honing in on strength training and some of the other, like the 4 different things we talked about today, doing a little more deep dives on these in future episodes.